Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you shocked the world at 19 years old. You were unranked and you knocked out Vidal in the fourth round. How did you handle the pressure of that? Just as a young man stepping onto the scene.
19 years old. And I remember like yesterday, I was telling my wife about it, on the way back because we'd passed by Ontario and I was just telling her like how scared I was, like you got to play, like you got to put this mask on, and, I mean, I was scared. I trained like, my life was on the line. I trained like I was going to die in the ring, to be honest. I was going to fight this dude from South America, knockout artist, number 7 in the world by the WBC. I'm 19 years old. Nobody knows who I am. I just remember, my dad and my grandpa were telling me, you're going to win, you're going to win, you're going to shock the world. And, I just had that in my mindset. But, I remember pulling up, I was scared. Never seen so many cameras before, all I remember is, the press conference. I told him like, I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. And then fight day came, and it was, like I was nervous and I was shaky. I was nervous. We walk into the arena, and then, everything just chilled out. And then I just knew it was my time. Well, a lot that has to do with it is, I put a lot of faith in, Jesus Christ. I'm religious, and, that takes me to where, I put my faith in him. We're trusting that he's gotten me this far. So.
And is there anything special that your dad or your grandfather say to you, to help get your mind right when you're in those, do you guys have any pre-fight rituals that you share together? Do they pep talk you? What is that like for you?
It's just, it's just the whole camp. They're just saying, you look good, you're going to feel good, you're strong, it's the whole camp. We're just positive. And then, before we fight, pray. Yeah. We pray. We're going to churches on Sundays. But it's just, we've all fought before. So, once it's fight week, we all have the same energy. Once we step into the arena to fight, we all have that same energy. And, there's not one negative thought, it's all positive. And, then it gets emotional after I knock out the guy, then it's like, oh, like it's over with, we're done. Like it's very stressful for us, but
yeah,
part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. How's that espresso tasting? Pretty good. The cortada.
Excellent.
It's hitting the spot, hey?
Cortado is excellent.
Cortado's hitting the spot. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how, so your father was a fighter, your grandfather also was a fighter, correct?
Yep.
And so do you find stylistically, there's, like you guys are sort of similar in a sense, or have you guys evolved, and used each other's experiences?
It's exactly what we do. We use each other's experiences. My grandpa was like, what was he, 28? It's like 28 and 8, something like that. And they typically used him as an opponent in California. And, he's fought a couple world champions. He's beat a lot of good guys. And, his experiences, fight hard, and you have that mindset. And that's where we get the mindset from, my grandpa, because he don't care if fight anybody, anytime, like he knows what it takes to win. And, on my dad's side, he has 150 amateur fights. He's trained with a lot of world champions. He's been in there with a lot of Olympians. So he also knows what it takes to be a world champion. You've seen it, and they just throw it into me, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm here, because I got great coaches. I have a lot of experience in my corner. I think that leads my way. I mean, there is a lot of good coaches out there that's never fought before, but it's different when it's my dad. It's different when it's my grandpa. You know what I mean? So
and it's also there's also legacy wrapped up in that as well, right?
Exactly. Yep. And once I win the world title, that's my goal. That's gonna be it for family. That's gonna be it, and I'll be the last fighter.
Yeah, and so have you thought about what you would do after that moment is achieved? Would you continue to fight? Would you retire from boxing, or would you just cross that bridge when you kind of come to it?
No, once I get one world title, talked about it. We're gonna go for all of them, and that's the goal. We just got to get the first title first, and we're gonna go after all the big names. I know I'm only 21 years old, but there's still a lot to go. I got to 28 at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, young in just human years, but ultimately the perfect time to be in pro sports, especially in a combat sport. I mean, you want to be at your, genetic peak, and you're just kind of like, I don't even think you've reached that yet. We were chatting before you've come on, and we were catching some footage of you fighting, and you got a lot of talent, and you pack a lot of punch, and being 21 works in your favor. Because you got a long road ahead of you and just to get better and better in your career. And I'm assuming you're a fan of the sport as well. You watch boxing, or do you even have time with your busy lifestyle?
No, I kind of like it now. Like I remember when I was amateur, I used to like Mikey Garcia, and then I turned into a big Errol Spence fan when he beat Mikey Garcia, right? Because that was one of Mikey Garcia's last fights, anyways. So I started watching Errol Spence, and then I was really excited for that Bud Crawford fight against Spence, and Spence is still my favorite fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he just that was a crazy fight. So after that fight, I've been real interested in watching everybody fight, because I honestly never really watched Crawford fight before, and watching that, I'm like, a lot of these guys got a lot of good skill. Like I thought Spence was the top dog out there. So I don't know. I get excited. Like I was excited for the Ryan Garcia Haney fight. I honestly thought Haney was gonna win, but then once I saw Ryan Garcia lose a little bit, I was like, come on, dude. But I don't know. It was exciting. That was a great fight. I liked watching that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone thought Ryan Garcia was going to lose that fight. And I would imagine, I would love to get your opinion on this, that I think fighting angry worked against Haney. How important is it to control your emotions in the ring?
Well, I think that's what I'm actually very good at, because like when people I spar people, and I hit them, you see them start getting frustrated. They try to change their style up and stuff like that, rather than just going with the flow. Like I'm not saying it's okay to get hit, but if somebody hits me, I'll be fine. It's just like it don't really bother me too much. Rather than a lot of people get pissed off and stuff like that, or even like trash talk. They take it to heart. I think a lot of it has to do with hyping up a fight and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't take a lot of things personal, and I kind of laugh at it when I get hit. So
yeah, I feel like it can dismantle a game plan when someone gets too emotional, and I think that's really what we saw in that, because that was not the Haney that we all enjoy. That was not the Haney that we talk about his skills. That was like he had one punch. He barely used his jab. He didn't control the ring past the fourth round. Like there was just so many things, but I think it was him kind of folding under the pressure and the hatred for everything that happened before that fight. So definitely an interesting one in our recent boxing history.
There's so many factors that could have played out.
If you could,
one thing for sure is younger ones.
True that. So if you could go back in time, like any historical boxer, who would you fight and why?
I'm not sure, to be honest. No, I have one historical person I could fight. I don't know. Fighting's not that fun, to be honest. The fighting is scary. I don't know. If I were to go back, I would like to watch Pacquiao versus who did he fight? That one Ibarra. What's his name? That Pacquiao. He fought him 3 times. Ibarra. What's his name? Mark. No. The other one. Remember? He was old as shit. Remember? Pacquiao's fought. Yeah. Is that him? Morales. Yeah, I'd like to watch Pacquiao and Morales. Yeah, Morales was already old. He already went through everybody, and he still beat Pacquiao when Pacquiao was young.
What about Dad? If Dad could fight anyone, any historical boxer,
who would you fight?
Who would he fight?
Yeah.
I would like to be at the Ferrara and Devin McKelly, but
no, who would you want to fight? Yeah. You don't want to fight nobody, you said.